one of the head and neck faculty here takes the time to meet with the junior residents twice a month to go over any outstanding clinical questions or cases that we don't understand. And that's something that's pretty unique to OHSU that I haven't seen at other institutions.
I would say I really enjoyed some of my times working in the operating room with some of our head and neck attendings during my first month here, and have really gotten to be super involved in cases. And there's not one particular story, but definitely have been able to be a lot more involved than I have ever thought sort of possible as a first year head and neck otolaryngology resident. So that's all been really exciting.
So Dr. Cohen is one of our legendary faculty members. He's primarily at the VA, and so my co-resident on service and I, we did bow tie Thursdays in his honor because he always wears bow ties. And actually, he was not there that day, so she and I were struggling to tie our bow ties in clinic. And so one of our male VA, like elderly patients, helped us tie our bow ties and look sharp for clinic.
Honestly, just hanging out with my co-residents outside of the hospital have been some of my favorite moments over the last 4 years. After academy, I remember we all went out and watching our attendings. Line dancing was a great experience for me. We have an annual tubing trip every year, which is always amazing. And even during our holiday parties, we always meet up beforehand with the residents and fellows to hang out. So it's just a great group of people to spend time with.
On head and neck rounds, there's a physical therapy device that patients stand in and kind of work on, standing and kind of transferring a little bit. And one of our attendings decided that looked a lot like a chariot. And so he decided that it would be really funny if the head and neck attending was pushed by one of the more junior attendings around on rounds in this chariot whilst we were all videotaping them and laughing. Rounds took a bit longer.
There was a needle stick exposure, and so my chief had to go to the emergency department to get all of the exposure prophylaxis and screening done. And so we all gathered in the ER. So the fellow finished the case, and me and my never-ending pager went down to the ED to meet my chief, and we all just sat there, ate cookies while the chief got his blood drawn, and they helped me write my consult notes and answer my patient phone call pages.
We've had a lot of initiatives for promoting resident wellness. One of those was to do a weekly mindfulness and yoga session, and this was all in the pre-COVID era, so we were still able to get a bunch of people in their same room and do a bunch of mindfulness activities and de-stress. Sometimes we would get wine and chocolate and mindfully eat them. Sometimes we would just do some simple like downward dog or cat cows, but it was always a great way to de-stress and relax from the pressures of residency.
Myself and one of my co-residents were going on a nice walk in the lovely neighborhood near us, and we saw a dog that we thought we recognized as one of our faculty's dogs, but we didn't know the people who were walking it, but we decided that we would approach them and be like, hey, I think I know your dog. And it turned out that it was one of our neurotologist's dogs, and we met her son and stuff. And it was fun to, and our attending texted us later about it. It was great.